Heck out loud, guys. This is the news the week of February 12th. As always, we're three college guys just talking about tech. Wow, I can't talk today. We all can't talk today, but
we're hungover.
Yeah, we kind of had a yeah. So I'm Andrew Jang, always joined by
Christopher Walton.
I'm Alex Weston.
And I guess we should start from go backwards. The latest news: Apple released Mountain Lion for developers.
Yes, they did.
Very quietly, I might add.
It was like a little
they're just we
free
have this,
sample.
Yeah, here we have this. Not free. Do you have $100 per year?
Oh no. This is like the Mall of Millennia free samples. It's like, oh, they're free with a $100 donation. So I can't unless you donate $100.
Well, I was hoping you guys got it so you can test. But from what
I mean, I didn't test it, but from a lot of the what I read about what it is doing, it's pretty cool.
Really, what are you most interested about?
I think I'm most interested about the integrated iMessaging.
I think that was it. But you can get that now.
To your, I thought it was more of an update with.
No, you download the beta now. Just go on Apple's site and download the beta now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, well, I like that. I mean, I think they're bringing way too much of iOS to the Mac. Like the notification bar looked just ugly. I hate the solid slate background of it.
They have that cross-hatched little.
And I don't know. Why do you need a notification bar when you have widgets? Because it looked like all their are the widgets now in a notification bar? It's getting too Windows. You know how Windows
Windows-like?
Yeah, you know how Windows had those little notification things
in Vista,
on the side?
the sidebar?
Yeah. You automatically log in. Yeah, Alex knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the sidebar wasn't always default on.
No, but I mean, Vista wasn't it?
Yeah. You had to turn all.
It
was like what it was like. It was a lot of crapware.
Yeah. It was unnecessary. Let's just say that. And then Windows 7 got rid of the bar, but you could still have the gadgets if you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you wanted.
But they were turned off originally.
Yeah, they were turned off defaultly. So you don't like the notifications at all?
I mean, I like the notification center on the iPhone. On the iPad, it doesn't look like... the thing is, they don't size it to the device you're using. On the Mac, have you seen a notification?
It looks like a lot of wasted space.
Yeah, and then if you look at also on the iPad, it just looks like it shouldn't belong.
No, I don't... that's a notification center in general. For Apple, they needed it. They needed some sort of unification notification center. But the way they implement it, it's just so weird. Because never in an iPhone do you swipe up and down. You swipe left to right, and that feels natural, and you click the home button. But the whole Android SKU pull down from the top doesn't feel natural. And then for our iPhone, it really doesn't feel comfortable doing it either.
No, I feel like they're forcing a lot of just iOS. They're not even really thinking. I think they're trying to just make everything be one device. You getting used to, oh, do you know how to use an iPhone? Well, then you should be able to use a MacBook.
Well, it's kind of they're kind of pulling a Microsoft, how they're incorporating Windows 8 into everything.
But then they're kind of incorporating an opposite approach to Microsoft, because Apple is trying to get everything on iOS, while Microsoft is trying to get everything on Windows 8.
Well,
yeah, I mean, the only thing they're missing is kind of Siri for your MacBook.
Yeah,
that's coming though.
I feel like it should be coming.
Well, they kind of have it already. It's voice control.
They have
voice command.
Dragon, but I use Dragon.
But then one of the biggest things that surprised me about Mountain Lion was
AirPlay.
Not just AirPlay. AirPlay was cool though.
AirPlay mirroring.
Not that. It's the fact that they killed off every MacBook before 2010.
Really?
Any MacBook before 2010 cannot upgrade
to Mountain
Lion.
So there goes all the old 2007 MacBook.
All the Pros, all the pre-gen Pros, all the Core 2 Duos.
The MacBook Aluminum.
Yeah.
The Aluminum MacBook, huh? I got a crap of those at the back.
Yeah, and then the first-gen Air is gone, too.
I love my old MacBook, the solid black one, made of plastic.
But it's plastic.
So it's made of plastic.
It just got outdated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not by that much, though. It's still a beta.
But it's interesting to how long Apple's been supporting those computers to begin with.
Yeah, they can support their computers forever, but they can't support their phones.
Well, I mean, that's a whole different ballgame, right?
Well, no, if you're trying to bring the phone to the computer. So
you're saying that once they finally unify the phone and the computer, that your MacBooks will be outdated every 2 years?
Probably. I'm being to be surprised that they should.
Because at least with Microsoft, there was this cool video a while ago.
How many years are you supposed to get out your laptop in general? I know people get
4 or 5. I
thought it was 8.
No.
Really?
I got 2 out of my Sony bio.
My tablet got 2 years out of that before HP's hardware totally broke.
I got 5 out of my MacBook.
So I think these computers will last long. They're just software-wise, they're going.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you really need to be up to date.
It's like this whole argument of ice cream sandwiches. Like, all these Android users are moaning and bitching about trying to get ice cream sandwich, but I'm like, what's the point? Your phone still works. Ice cream sandwich is not going to, like, make your phone godly.
I saw Froyo on this Captivate, and it was a piece of crap.
Yeah, but, like, we've gotten so entitled with our phones. It's like, if the phone can make a call, send a text message.
You know, like, you pay the money for the phone. You want to be entitled to all the perks and things that your phone is capable to do.
You expect a new Captivate.
You didn't pay. I didn't pay $200 for an alarm clock. Okay.
But like, are you really that entitled to an upgrade? Like,
yes,
to an upgrade.
Yes.
Why?
They should be free.
The phone
you pay $200. You pay $200 for the hardware. The software.
You pay $200 subsidized. Let's make that very clear. You pay it subsidized.
But it doesn't matter. You're still paying for features on the phone. And to me, feature is software updates. And software updates, if they need to be frequent or if they're not as frequent, you should still be able to get them no matter what generation you're on.
I don't think software updates should be free. Like, to be totally honest, I don't think software updates should be like.
So you don't want major bug fixes every now and then?
No, like fine, bug fixes are free.
Well, that's a software update.
Necessary updates.
Like the jump, like Apple didn't charge $10 for the jump from ISO 2.
Are they stopped charging $10?
Yeah, they stopped charging. But they charged $10 from the jump from ISO 2 to ISO 3.
They still charged iPods.
Yeah, they charge iPods. But this is how I see it. It's like...
But you pay to be... I mean, you pay, like... Because that's because you can still get a lot of...
Okay.
You still get time on your device.
Maybe Apple's a bad example. But, like, with the Android world, nobody gets updates, right? Because they're free. Because why did nobody get updates because they're free? Because manufacturers don't want to update Android phones so you can get the new Android phone. But
you don't know which Android phone to get that's new because they're flushing the market with so many Android phones.
No, that's the point. That's the point. That's why they don't want to update the Android phones. That's why I'm like, if Android adopted this pay model of updating, but you knew you were going to get the update faster, I would totally lay down $5 for like an upgrade to ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I would too because I pay for a phone that I know there's some phones that are still stuck in 2.2, 2.3.
Oh, you should see
that are brand new.
No, you should see Motorola's upgrade line. It's totally depressing. I'll pull it up.
I know Samsung was going in the battle for a while where they were going to start charging for upgrades for Android. Where if it was more not software based, then you would charge for feature updates.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just wrong. Like I shouldn't have to be paid. Pay you to enhance to make my phone run smooth and not crash.
Right.
That's a given.
So, using that logic, should Apple pay all those 3G owners for updating their iPhone to 4.0?
No. You shouldn't have to. Like, it's at the same point, it's you buy a phone is only good for let's say a year
2 years. It's a phone. It's supposed to be for 2 years that you get on contract.
Yeah, I mean, I probably got like 2 years, 2 going on 3 with my iPhone 4.
Well, I kind of...
And Alex is, even though he's lagging, he's still...
I brought this thing down.
Still tasting the fruits of what iOS has to offer. May it be not as fast as he wants.
and not as feature-filled as he wants.
But, still, my father, he has a 3GS, and he's still using it. And it's...
Well, the 3GS is still pretty capable device.
That's what I'm saying, though.
So is this. It's the same phone, except for the different processor and the graphics.
That's a whole
The processor really makes,
Yeah, that's a whole different
as far as everything else hardware-wise, the phone looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the same chassis.
2 things they changed. 2 things.
No, the
2 main things.
A lot of things. They changed the graphics chips, they changed the processor, they changed the camera module.
Well, they can leave the camera module the same, but if you update the processor and stuff, obviously you're going to get a lot better, support.
Well, I mean, the iPhone 3G uses a 400 megahertz processor, and then it jumped to 600 with the 3GS. And then it's 800 in the 4, and then 800 dual core for the 4S.
Dual core, okay.
Yeah.
But let me cut you off for a bit. Let me talk to you. This is like a problem here. Motorola, who just got bought by Google, it finally cleared. The EU and America and the USA finally said, okay, Google, you can buy Motorola as long as you don't violate any antitrust laws. And so that means Motorola is part of Google. And look, on Motorola's also released an update schedule on when they expect all their devices to get ice cream sandwich. The Atrix 2, which just came out about 4 months ago, rollouts begin Q3 2012. The Motorola Zoom Q3 2012. The Droid Bionic, Droid 4, Razer, and Razer Max are still in evaluation and planning.
Evaluation and planning. That could be like 2013 right there.
Yeah.
The phone's already a year old. Why bother now?
And the Droid 3 that came out 6 months ago, not even 6 months ago, like 3 months ago, is evaluating planning. Like, this is crap. Motorola is owned by Google now. Why isn't Google whipping Motorola?
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
to go back to the Mac OS, did you look at Gatekeeper?
Oh, it's not Mac OS X anymore.
Yeah, that's right. They
dropped the Mac
OS X.
OS. But
It's
anyway,
cleaner.
OS X. Did you see what do you think of Gatekeeper?
I think the logo leaves to be desired. It reminds me a lot.
Well, not. I mean, what about the overall premise of it, though?
Maybe this is the first time Apple's acknowledging that their Macs can get viruses too.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, it's a big step. It's saying it coming out that, we could possibly get malware if someone decided to take the time to develop some kind of malware for, OS X.
But what I don't like about Gatekeeper is it sets a precedence for Apple. Apple loves to close you in. They love to not give you control of anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could back up your stuff through. It used to be Time Machine, but now you can kind of do it at iCloud. But I think iCloud on the desktop, they should have gave you way more space than iCloud
on a laptop.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We'll get back to that whole space issue because I have a bone to pick with that. Not a bone to pick, but yeah, we wouldn't discuss that too. But Gatekeeper, by default, when you install Mountain Lion, will only allow you to install apps from the Mac App Store.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. You can change it in the settings of Gatekeeper to allow third-party installation, but this sets a precedence that Apple really wants to silo the experience, and eventually all your apps will have to come to the Mac App Store.
Really? Because I have
because
Caffeine on my Mac, which is like a third-party app that lets you, override the sleep
and keep your computer on
constantly.
Yeah, if Caffeine doesn't have a Mac App Store app in the future, it would not be able to install.
I mean, it's a big blow. So a lot of the third-party things, it was free.
Yeah, like Photoshop, like Adobe's whole CS collection is not in the Mac App Store.
Then that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
Do you know how long it takes to get approved, and it has to be by Apple regulation?
Yeah, it has to be by Apple regulation, and which is kind of strange because Apple claims they had a huge regulation blow this week too.
They're kind of like building this huge, Chinese,
they want to
Great
build
Wall.
a wall.
They're building, going
Fred,
into...
you haven't heard about the walled garden?
No.
Really?
No.
That's what they call Apple's whole ecosystem. The whole point of Apple's ecosystem is to keep you trapped in.
And socialism, I guess.
Basically. I mean, like my friend Natalia, sorry to bring you up if you didn't want to bring brought up, but she has a Mac, and even if she wanted to jump ship to something else, she can't because she's invested over $5,000 in iTunes, worth of apps, movies, music.
But is it all DRM free?
No.
Oh,
it's tied into Apple.
See, that's what Apple would call one of the, or not even Apple, but like one of those real people who would call a good contributor, a good consumer. She's not a BitTorrent or,
No, she doesn't have a deal.
She just buys her stuff legitimately. She's like one of those people you rarely meet that actually gets her stuff, who actually pays for stuff.
See, the
I
point
can
is,
see why, you're kind of like, you
but
don't want to leave.
I buy software from my Windows PC. Like, I bought CS 5.5. If I deactivate on this computer, I can install on another Windows PC. But she can't do that
for anything.
I mean, that's why I like having the physical disc.
I thought you were able to authorize up to 5 computers, though.
Yeah.
You can authorize up to 5 computers, but then I'd rather just if I'm gonna move it to, might as well unauthorize it so I get the 5 back.
Right.
So, and then I can take those licenses to Mac too, and install them on a Mac.
Yeah.
I thought Microsoft, Office, you get licenses with that for the Mac. You can have it up to 5 computers as well, right?
I believe so.
I know Windows and Mac.
Yeah, Windows and Mac. See, there's this cross-platform. Like, Windows can jump to Mac, and Windows can jump to Windows, but Mac strictly wants you to stay in that ecosystem.
I mean,
you can't leave.
How many times can you log in your account on iTunes on different computers?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to remember to deauthorize it. Say you reformat your hard drive.
They do have an option, though, because I ran into that trouble that I've authorized 5 computers over the years, and then all of a sudden those computers broke, and I can't deauthorize them, or I formatted the hard drive. But Apple once a year allows you to deauthorize every single machine you have.
See, I think
that's right.
I think Apple should give you the opportunity, like, if they, you never know, if a company's going to just tank one day. But I think they should be able to give you the chance to back up all your music and what you have and download it.
Well, that's what iCloud's for, but with a measly 5 gigs.
5 gigs, I think, can you pay for more gigs?
Yeah, you can pay.
Well, how much is it per gig?
I think it's like the max is 50 gigs, and you have to pay
$50 a year. I wouldn't mind paying $50 a year if I had 50 gigs.
Well, see, in
$1
the case of you own $5,000 worth of media,
how many gigs is that?
I don't even think 50 gigs.
How many gigs does she have on her iTunes?
A lot.
Like, what are you looking at, like 20?
She has like over 10,000 something songs.
No, I'm talking about gigs though. Like how much? Like the
would
whole
iCloud
at the bottom
the iCloud store would never be.
Because at the bottom of the iTunes account, it tells you how much all your stuff is in gigs. Like if you backed up your entire iTunes library.
So if she bought 50 gigs worth.
Okay,
of
so this is what it is. If you for 15 gigs, it's $20 a year. For 25 gigs, it's $40 a year, and then for 55 gigs, it's $100 per year.
I mean, you pay $100 for for an iOS or OS membership.
Yeah, but for a general consumer,
I think they need to start. Yeah, a general consumer pays. They shove out money when needed. You pay. Just think, it's yearly service, and are you contracted or can you terminate it?
You can terminate it, but then if you terminate, you lose all that space up to 5.
And your content.
Yeah, you lose your content up to 5.
What do they do if you like can't pay the next thing? Do they get rid? Like, do they just get rid of all your stuff? Like, if you already have it,
so there's a risk.
So they delete everything.
Yeah.
Oops.
I thought they couldn't do that. That's tampering with your account, though.
No, you agreed to it when you signed the ULELA.
I don't think anybody reads this.
Exactly.
Nobody reads those.
That brings up a good point because the iPhone got a series. We found a series flaw this week. Any app can potentially upload your address book to their servers without. I mean, you request it, but it's in those UELA.
Yeah, no. Foursquare. You used to be able to find friends through your address book.
But you know what? You know what app doesn't upload your address book, which I thought was hilarious.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook rivals with privacy control.
Because you have to turn that on, right?
No, because Facebook has grown to this huge behemoth that they're like, oh, we don't even need your address book. Just have apps just plug into Facebook. You have all your friends on Facebook anyways. So
yeah, and people post their phone numbers on there too, so you can just scroll through your contacts and just hit.
But to be honest, I don't know what people are making a big deal of. I signed away my privacy the moment I started using Google. I'm pretty sure Google knows everything about me based on my search.
Or Google Plus account.
Not even Google Plus, but just searching wise. They know your search, what you're searching. They know your search habits. What time of day do you search for certain things?
Almost every day.
And what time? And then it's they already know who you are basically. And then
but you can't tell me Bing doesn't do that too.
Yeah, Bing does that too. Don't worry. Every search engine does that. But it's you signed your privacy away already, agreeing to use that service. And then if someone does get my address book, what are they going to find? They're going to find that I have some business contacts mostly.
I mean, this is where people get targeted, like celebrities, if they download, let's say some celebrity just downloads a stupid app, and then now that's, someone in that app store who made that app just to pretty much look through celebrities' phone numbers.
I think it's more...
Think about a lot of people, like Alec Baldwin and playing Angry Birds. Imagine Alec Baldwin's contact list on his phone.
All prostitutes.
Probably, and Charlie Sheen.
All members of Congress.
Yeah.
But I really don't think they actually go through that information I'm just...
You don't know. That's the problem. It's okay.
It's to go back to, what is it? Carry IQ.
Yeah, Carry IQ.
I mean, people didn't know Carry IQ, what they were doing. But even some people told you up front about it, and at the same time. So this is the same thing. It's kind of blatantly obvious and hidden at the same time.
But and then it's okay. At this point, I guess we're sure that Twitter or Facebook has secure servers, and we trust that they're secure servers, right? But this is the average app, the average Joe app that you just coded. You don't know and it requests access to your address book, but you don't know if that where it's requesting is secure. So I think that's the biggest issue. Anything else? You guys are eerily silent. What are you looking at?
Alex is downloading some stuff.
Oh. Should we look through Alex's YouTube history?
No, I wouldn't say
YouTube.
I would say other form of a media outlet. So that is not frowned upon.
So Alex, are you an Apple developer?
I am not an Apple developer.
Okay, case closed, and you're downloading them online. Okay.
You can't prove that.
Okay. Wow, we showed a lot of track. But Motorola, all their new phones are going to get iTunes 7 for the Q3. We're going back to upgrades now, I guess. But speaking of upgrades, Windows 8 call it a logo upgrade, but I call it a logo downgrade because it's a hideous logo.
Well, I saw it. It actually reminded me of the old Windows logo. And
yes, that's me checking off Mac OS X off our topic list.
Do you want to plug in that app? No, don't advertise them.
Oh, I think I'm going to plug it into my Crave and at the end.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's good. Okay.
No, it kind of brought back the design of the first Windows logo, but it kind of, like what you said, it kind of looks ugly. I mean, the way they designed the four windows on the left.
It's not those like flaggy things anymore. It's a flat pane that looks exactly like a 4-paneled window.
Just a window.
Yeah, just a window.
Not like the flying windows you would get.
What else is on your topic list, Chris?
Yeah.
RIM to announce the new OS.
Oh yeah, okay.
And just want to talk about my new app. And
okay, we'll save for the end. But okay, yeah, Windows 8 logo. Bad idea. Why don't they just incorporate the Microsoft Store logo?
I don't know. You ask them.
Have you seen the Microsoft Store logo?
I have not.
I know.
I'm sure it's a lot better than what they have
pretty sure you're going to show us anyway.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going to show you anyways. That's the Microsoft Store logo.
Oh, that's the one you wanted them to use for the Microsoft Store.
It looks like
for Windows 8. I want them to use this for Windows 8.
Looks like carpets.
It does look like carpet.
Or like stained glass.
But like, if they're trying to go for this whole flat,
you know, it'd be awesome, like blown glass, like windows.
I want them to stop calling it Windows because it's not Windows anymore.
Well, those are windows.
They actually used Windows.
I know, but like
you're just describing your image.
Window, like,
what do you want to say? Hey,
Metro
try software.
8 or something.
No.
Software.
No, just call like the whole. Every time you listen to like a Windows 8 or Windows Phone 7 keynote, they always talk about the Start screen. So why not just call it Start?
Because Start doesn't sound very good.
Start's like every.
But then when you think of Windows, what do you think of? When I say Windows, what do you think of? Honestly,
the operating system, Windows 7,
Bill
Windows
Gates.
98.
That's like the first thing that pops in my head.
Because most times people will be like, when I say Windows Vista, you say crashes and bugs and all of that stuff.
I say stick with XP or go with 7.
Like, but the point I'm talking about is like Windows still has this little stigma. Like, even if it's good now and Windows 8 is amazing, people.
I think it's just all perception. Yeah, it is perception. Because if you just Apple, I mean, you just know Dynasty. You just know, cold and, and like,
dude, you're a barista.
Exactly. They have an audience that draws and demands their Apple products, no matter how selfishly priced they are, or whatever you're getting.
Right.
I don't have any more internet, so I don't know what our other stories are.
Really?
That's nice.
Yeah, because you're using my internet connection.
I am.
Let's talk about RIM, since that's next on your topic list.
Yes, it was on my topic list.
Then they leaked out their new OS, and have you seen it? Like, have you seen the screenshot?
I don't think they really leaked it out. I think they did it on purpose.
Well, I mean, okay, let's not leak is a weird word. They showed it to marketers, and then someone it was in a PowerPoint presentation for marketers, and then someone got a hold of it.
Yeah, because I think it was like one of those stunt things. Because the BlackBerry new.
Have you seen it though?
No.
This is what their leaked OS
Is the one that looks like Windows and HTC?
Yeah, it looks like a Windows Phone 7. Well, the tiles look like Windows Phone 7,
but it has that HTC feel to it. You know what I mean?
But then it also has like this
Palm Pre.
Yeah, this Palm Pre. It's like WebOS. RIM just basically took a jar and it's like, let's take what people like about the iPhone, what people like about Android, what people like about Windows Phone 7,
and combine them
and WebOS, and let's shake up a jar.
Hey,
It does. It looks like the iPhone.
Like, Ice Cream Sandwich now has software buttons. No more capacitive buttons. What are these? Software buttons.
Can you say that's like a lawsuit right there for copying Apple's design?
Not really. I mean, I think it's more OS.
This right here.
This is way more Palm Pre.
Like the layout of these.
I mean, Apple didn't invent.
No, but I remember one time
organizing
that Who did they sue?
That background
Samsung.
looks like it was on
Samsung
Palm
for that.
Pre.
Yeah, it was.
That's a Palm Pre background.
No,
It looked like a Palm Pre.
No,
If you take
it's not a Palm Pre background, but it was that field that like that creepy, really pale.
It has
lady
like
was sitting in when
it's
you
got
advertised
Palm
it.
Pre. It's got that ice cream sandwich,
With
you know,
software
clean
buttons.
slate on the bottom. Yeah.
Right.
And then you have BlackBerry on top of it with the, you know,
With Windows Phone 7
can you make
widgets.
folders?
Yeah, you make folders by dragging.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, I mean, you know, what do you got to do to survive? You got to steal other people's ideas.
Well, this is not coming till the end of 2012. Do you think they're going to make it?
I think they'll keep circling the drain.
How long do you think, if this flops? How long do you think they'll survive?
They said they're not going to sell out, or that's what they say. You know, but
That's what they say. Which also brings another point.
It's so hard to say, like in tech years, because you know, tech time it flies.
A month later now it could be completely different.
Yeah, I mean, you could have someone who offers a large chunk of sum and just scoop someone up. So I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna say in the next 5 years, if BlackBerry doesn't do something improving with their new OS, they're definitely gonna either split, dissolve, or sell their stuff off.
No, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to adopt Windows Phone 7. Like Nokia. Exactly like Nokia.
BlackBerry 7,
No, like...
B7.
But they're on BlackBerry 7 now, so that doesn't make sense.
BB-8.
They skipped 8 and 9 to go to BBX.
BlackBerry working with Microsoft. I mean, two business, you know, clients. I mean, Microsoft is like in the business world, all their Office products, and you take BlackBerry, which was the, you know, the dedicated businessman's phone in that day. I could see
Still
that
is.
pairing up.
Well, like that's what because they don't want to go Android because at this point the Android market's so oversaturated. If you go into Android, you're not just competing against Apple; you're competing against Samsung, and nobody wants to compete against Samsung because Samsung makes all of their parts, and Samsung gets first dibs on their parts because they make them.
I'm charging my phone. I'm just gonna steal a port.
Steal my USB.
Steal some power.
But like you know how we talked about last time, how like the CEO change at RIM wasn't like a big CEO change, like because this guy's really gonna just stick with BlackBerry's the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
A BlackBerry executive came out and criticized all the critics that said that and said, "What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to hand it over to children or morons on the outside who destroy the company?"
Were those the exact words?
Yeah.
He used morons.
Yeah. So we're supposed to, quote unquote, hand it over to children or morons from the outside who will destroy the company, or should we try to build our way to having succession?
I think they forgot to add, you know, or watch them, you know, die off from the inside out, like a cancer.
But he makes kind of a good point. Like, look at HP. HP is definitely not what it was back in the 80s.
I mean, a lot of things, you know, it's hard to stay, you know, current and on the wave of technology. Like you could think you have the next big thing, and you know there's so much creativity before your company dries out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you bring in new stuff and adopt new things.
Exactly, that's what
you have to adopt. That's the big thing.
But what can they adopt at this point?
Let's just a
current OS.
Yeah, I mean you have to survive. I mean you want to be an apex predator.
I'm gonna call it now. RIM is going to adopt Windows Phone 7, just like Nokia. I'm gonna call it now.
Okay, I could see that. I mean, I'm just saying, two business titans in the world of back in the day. I definitely don't see why not.
And what are you looking at, Alex?
I'm playing Temple Run.
That is a great game.
Nice to see where our focuses lie.
Hey, RIM, no.
Let's go a little random. Speaking of games, though, I thought that was a perfect segue, though, because I want to talk about the PlayStation Vita, because it finally launched this week.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
Yes. It's been around.
No, only the 3G model, not the Wi-Fi model.
Did you see the Wi-Fi model?
I don't even know what model it was. I got some hands-on experience.
Only the 3G model is available in the U.S. right now.
If it's 3G, then it's 3G.
What carrier are they using?
AT&T.
They can't use any other carrier. It needs a SIM card.
I guess
T-Mobile, but
not T-Mobile.
Well, with the whole T-Mobile AT&T thing,
yeah.
I would assume.
I'm assuming like this whole plan to partner with AT&T was built really long ago when AT&T was planted by T-Mobile, and they're like, "Oh, T-Mobile's gonna get dissolved anyways."
I don't know. Like, I think handheld gaming is kind of dying.
I don't think so.
Obviously, when I came into the building, you were still using your, Nintendo DES.
It was a PSP.
All right, outside in the real world, how many people do you see handheld gaming?
little children whose parents do not let them have
Under the age of
cell phones.
Under the age of 12.
No, I would say under maybe 10 or 8.
No, I've seen definitely 12-year-olds not have smartphones and carry around.
I've seen 12-year-olds have smartphones, which really took me off.
Walk around the airport.
I can see. I think 10 and under, you got like an iPad.
This is rich people.
Yeah, those are rich parents.
I came out of the mall millennium. This kid was.
Well, there you go. You're judging the wrong. You're judging the wrong.
I'm not, gonna. I mean, what about Itouch? You can give an 8-year-old an Itouch.
That's true.
Yes, but I mean, there's a difference between an Itouch and a PS Vita.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can't play
they can listen to music.
I can't play Uncharted 3 on an Itouch.
Yeah, but does a kid really want to play it in Uncharted 3? Like, I love Uncharted. But like at the same time, those kids are going to play it. Stick with the main system.
Well, if anything, they're
going to want something light and portable and something with multi-function use. Like, are you going to really like back in the day, you're going to put a big PSP in your phone and in your pocket and then listen to music out of it?
Well, the PS Vita can do so much more now.
It's like
so can an Itouch.
It's like through the PS Vita,
an Itouch can surf the web, you can play games, you have access to the App Store, you can download videos and watch them. You could do you can do whatever you want. Music wise, I mean, I'm thinking about as an 8-year-old.
As an 8-year-old,
8 or 9.
Okay, so the PS Vita does have smartphone features. Like you can Google Maps on it, you can browse the web.
How much is a PSP Vita?
$250.
And how much is an Itouch for the low end?
$230.
Yeah,
so $20 more though, you get so much more.
Or you just, your kid's gonna, you want something that's gonna be a little bit more durable, and I think an Itouch is really durable.
Really?
Over a PSP Vita.
The PS Vita felt pretty solid.
No, like
but that's a lot of technology.
How about
what
do you talk about durability? Like, are you talking about physically?
I'm being dropped. I mean, you put it in a case and everything. See, that's the great thing. You put an OtterBox case.
I've dropped my PSP so many times. And that thing is like a brick.
They actually have cases for the PS Vita now, like silicone cases and
they used to have the big bulk cases and then you put your games.
But even software wise, like game consoles when they would get released are supposed to be a lot of years. Like the original DS. You could still rock to original DS all the way up for 7 years till the 3DS comes out.
I mean, because I used to do PSP a lot, back in middle school. I used to play Grand Theft Auto.
There's no difference between the original PSP, the PSP Slim, the PSP Go, and the PSP 2000. They're just different form factors, slimmer, sleeker. But yes,
no graphics improvements.
No graphic improvements because they're still.
So the PSP and the PSP Vita is PSP and PSP Vita is really number 2.
Yeah, the PS Vita is the next.
They're not even calling it PSP Vita.
No,
it's just
Vita.
PS Vita.
PS Vita.
I just heard the Vita.
No, it's PS Vita.
Or Sony Vita.
PS Vita.
PS Vita?
Yeah.
What did they drop the P for?
Because it was PlayStation Portable, and then now it's PlayStation Vita.
I don't understand.
The Vita means life in Latin.
Yeah, I know what Vita means, but I understand you're still a portable hand system.
Are you? Because, when the Vita was announced...
now I think you're just a tablet. I mean,
when the Vita was announced as the NGP, the codename was the NGP, the specs blew everybody's mind away. You had a quad-core chip, you had a Super AMOLED QHD display.
That's how the specs came out for, the first PSP. They blew people away. Think about all that graphics and, watching Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, on a handheld device, that looked amazing. I mean, it's the same thing, but after a while, are you going to go get it? I mean, it's a pick and choose. I'm going to go buy. I want a DS,
but I'm never going to be able to play it
before the Itouch came out. I would say I think if the Itouch didn't really come out, handheld gaming, just strictly iPods, handheld gaming will still exist. But I think with the ability of the iPhone store and everyone low entry, even Blackberry, not Blackberry, Boost Mobile, it's Android phones, Android App Store, Angry Birds, kids play Angry Birds, Kindles. You can get a Kindle,
Well, you're applying to two different kinds of audiences, because
I'm just talking about gaming-wise, though. You're talking about, I'm just saying, look at all the platforms you can get games on, and look at the handheld gaming
But I don't get the games I want on an iTouch.
Yeah, but you got to think about a parent who's, just trying to satisfy...
If my parent wanted me to get me a gift, they wouldn't get me an iTouch, because I wouldn't do much of an iTouch.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to watch YouTube, look at movies, go surf the web,
for that.
Get mail and everything. Well, you're a middle schooler. You're not going to give your kid a phone.
Well, you have to understand too. You're not going to probably see a 25-year-old walking around with a PS Vita.
Really? I thought that was key.
That's like the geekiest thing.
No, I mean, well, I guess it is
the key market.
But look,
I
how
guess
many
it is
times
because
do
of
you see people out there, with stuff like outside? Do you if you go to Waterford Lakes, do you see people like sitting on the corner like playing with their Nintendo DS that are not like grown people like us, high schoolers or college students? Or even
I like how you say we're grown people. Thanks for making me feel old.
Well, compared to the younger generation here.
I mean, 12 and under, you're not going to see them, young, old. Look at the commercials. You don't see young people playing them. You see, like, high school,
age.
Middle school.
Because we grew up with, like, the PlayStation age. We grew up with the Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
So we're their prime market.
I think we as an adults, young adults and adults, are going to lean towards, we don't have time to have a handheld game when we're at work or we're playing.
No, this is how I feel. This is how the Vita. I feel like the Vita falls in the same area as a tablet. It's like it's portable enough for you to take everywhere, but you're mostly gonna play it like on a couch when someone else is watching TV and you don't want to watch.
I can see that.
Like, it's a pricey thing just to have as a coffee table item.
I mean, it's still cheaper than an iPad.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Itouch.
But the Itouch is so small.
And you're limited as to what you can do on the screen.
If they really want to make the Itouch a gaming device, they need to boost the screen size to at least 4 inches, at least.
Or what about, Nook? The Nook color. It's got Angry Birds. It's got some games, but...
Yeah, but, I'm talking about, platformer. Until platformers jump ship to mobiles...
I've even seen, old school games, so people still using...
Oh, yeah, Square Enix is, milking their nostalgia factors.
SD.
They release, all these...
Game Boy SP? Yeah, SP.
They're, Square Enix is, milking all of their nostalgia... They release, all their old SNES games for the App Store for all the people who want to really play really old games on their iPhone.
And people buy them, don't they?
I mean, people buy them, so you have a market for them. But at the same time, I don't think a lot of people are gonna be picking up handheld gaming.
I want to see after the Vita because I think the Vita is the pinnacle. I think the Vita is the last handheld gaming we're gonna see.
Yeah, because after if you emphasize just strictly on just a gaming platform, that's what you're doing. But the PSP Vita does a lot more, and you're kind of bridging into the gap of a
smartphone. Not
even a smartphone. You're going to a tablet.
It's not big enough to be a tablet. I think it's more trying to be a smartphone.
No, I mean you can get three. Why would you call on that something that huge?
No, it's. I mean,
does it have a front-facing camera?
Yeah, it has a front and a back-facing camera.
Yeah, then they're just trying to rip off of Nintendo.
Well, I mean, they kind of have to
does it have Netflix and
it has
Hulu
Netflix
Plus?
And Hulu Plus.
I mean, you're kind of getting to the tablet form. Is it touchscreen?
Yes.
Yeah. So
what? Okay. In this day and age, you don't have to ask what's touchscreen. I'm pretty sure
everything now is touchscreen.
Unless you get a BlackBerry.
I mean,
BlackBerry
people really want touchscreen gaming. I thought the whole thing about handheld gaming was not to be touchscreen.
No,
it to be analog.
The touchscreen is not for gaming. You have the Vita comes with the analog sticks and the original PlayStation buttons. But if you want to access menus quicker or quick keys or something, they'll be on the edge of the screen, and so you just while you're using your analog stick, you can go over with your thumb. And then you navigate through the UI with your finger. It's like a bubble-shaped UI.
I don't know. For $250, it doesn't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well,
you can go get a Wii for $199.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but who wants a Wii anymore?
Who wants a PSP Vita anymore?
I do.
Exactly. One person.
My friend Alan bought a PS Vita.
Does he have a lot of money?
No. He's still rocking a 3G.
Phone?
Yeah, iPhone, the original 3G iPhone.
Well, it's Alex. If you don't spend money on phones like you do, you can probably get a PSP Vita. Trying to deter.
Are you trying to do this class warfare? No.
No, I'm just saying. It's just I think handheld gaming it's kind of taking backseat to.
Well, I do agree with that, but it's just you can never replicate the experience of a Vita on a smartphone. Until that, I don't. The Vita might be the last handheld gaming pinnacle, that might be the last gaming system we might see coming up from Sony, but until I can replicate playing Final Fantasy X HD on an Itouch or on my Windows phone, I'm not gonna stop buying handhelds anytime soon.
I mean, I don't know, I think handhelds will slowly get away to the point where it's just going to be console-based. Because I think there's nothing, you love people love picking up a console. That's why they have it, because consoles do way more.
I have a lot more handhelds than I do.
Like
consoles.
a PSP Vita does the same thing as a a PS3, but it's just small. Do I really want to carry a small PS3 around with me? No.
If you're going on a flight from New York to London, yes.
Again, a class warfare. Who's going?
People traveling.
Yeah, if you're like on a long flight or a long trip,
those people are going to put on their iPhone or Android phone or Windows phone, and they're just going to listen to some music or watch a video. They're not really going to.
Fine, maybe just fine. I like gaming. Okay, I like my.
You say you didn't have time for gaming.
In snippets, okay. Fine.
It took you just a while to go to play Skyrim.
Yeah,
you said you were bored because you were waiting for something.
Yeah, okay. Fine, I played Skyrim, but I always had time for Final Fantasy. Know that about me. I'm like obsessed with Final Fantasy.
Hey, want to play Final Fantasy? You'd be like, yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why I failed my first SAT because I just took like a whole week off to play Final Fantasy 13. I ignored everything else. I was like, I don't care. I don't have time for this. I'm playing this now.
I just can't stare at a small screen like that.
Well, the 13 was on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, it's too much talking, not enough killing. You like to read, I don't.
I like the story. I like the story.
The story is so complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. I kind of got lost a bit. I was like, wait, what? Who's that again? And then 13.2 came out, and it has 9 different endings depending on what roads you take during the main storyline.
It's like every game now. Like I know BioShock had 9 endings.
Wonderful. Did you play all 9?
No, because all 9 were pretty much the same ending.
Oh, I hate when games do that. It's like, oh, we're gonna have like multiple endings that are just the same ending with slight variations.
Alternate endings.
No, but like 13.2 really has 9 totally different endings of how the story can outcome. So, and looking at Alex's face, something just happened to his MacBook Pro.
No. Something's car.
Oh, okay. So, is there anything else? I mean, let's do the 10-second crave.
Okay.
We need an official timer.
I forgot what this app is called.
We need an official 10-second timer.
Build one for your phone.
Build one. I guess I could. No, that's not good enough.
Close my list.
If you're wondering what that sound is right now, that would be Chris.
My app of the week,
which he will explain to you after the 10-second.
Yep. Clear.
If Andy can find a timer,
we can use a Wheel of Fortune timer.
Just use any timer. Really,
any timer, really. We'll have one definitely for next week.
Oh, that's what we say every week.
Did we say that?
We say a lot of things every week. We never promise anything.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
It's always Chris, Alex, and then me.
Okay.
Okay. Ready, Chris?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, this week I'm pretty much craving the new Mac or OS X Lion. It's really cool. You should check it out, the new notification center. And also this new... oh, really? The 30 seconds?
10 seconds now.
10 seconds? I thought we were doing 30.
You gotta be down the list. Don't explain.
Yeah, 30 seconds way too long.
No, because I thought we did 30 seconds. No,
we were supposed to do 15.
We first did 30, and then we're like, oh, that's way too long. And then we did it, and then we did 15, and then we're like, oh, that's still way too long.
How much does The Verge do?
10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try again then. Because I thought it was. I thought it was 30 seconds.
You're gonna redo next week.
Let me do it because you gotta specify time.
Fine. And go.
OS X and clear. Those are the new apps.
Oh, so just apps?
Clear's the new app.
Yeah. So you're okay. Ready? Ready, Alex?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And go.
There's no
Mac OS X Mountain Lion, which there is no Mac part. Anyway, Windows 8 beta coming out in 2 weeks. And what else?
That's it?
I forget.
And then okay. I hate you 2 players. I really want a PS Vita. I want Final Fantasy 13 too, and I really want to go back to 2009 when phones actually excited me. That's about it. Oh yeah, and I'm rocking my old internet tablet, my Nokia 770 with 64 megabytes of storage.
If you don't know what that looks like, Google it, and that's what he's using.
Well,
yeah.
Who are these people liking my photo?
Facebook stalkers. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, well, thanks so much for guys for joining us. We'll be back next week because MWC is supposed to be starting next week. MWC starting next week.
And I guess Chris will explain his app of the week next week.
Yeah, I'll try to have an app every week.
And I'll try to have another hardware thing that Chris can disagree on why I need.
Yes, because you don't have time.
Like talking about my Nokia tablet, it's like this is the first gadget I bought that I had no need for. This was the thing back when it first came out.
This is like one of those things where, like, you know, if I was like in a spy movie, my backpack, loading the GPS now.
You saw the
I'm on the run. loading, and I'm hacking into it, like checking my USB and downloading data. Got it. Put it in my pocket. And now he's like right out of a building and tumble.
Anyways, this is the first gadget I bought that I had no need for, and I just tried to justify it. Well, I can check email on it sometimes. I can Google something, and this is before smartphone. This is back in 2003.
Does it have USB?
I think a lot of iPod Nanos or stuff I bought just didn't really justify.
Okay, anyways, yeah.
Stop now.
Random gadget news. I guess this week for news. Thanks so much for joining us again. You can catch us on Twitter at twitter.com/checkoutloud, Facebook at facebook.com/checkoutloud. We have our individual Twitters. I'm at Andingit, ANDDNGIT.
I'm at Chris Walton, capital C, capital W.
I'm Alex Weston. Instead of a, what is it?
Zero.
No, it's not. Oh,
it's zero.
Should really change that.
Right? Okay, and thanks so much, guys, for all you listeners out there, all under double digits of you. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.